Hey guys, Chris the Ultimate Recycler. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to part 10 of the Great Farm Cleanup. I'm heading off to the farm early next week, early Monday morning, and I'm just getting a few things organised for that trip. Now, we didn't have any eBay auctions. Correction, we have one eBay auction. I didn't take a lot of photos last time, and we actually have got rid of most of the machinery. So we'll be starting to get into the sheds and do more organising in that area, and there probably won't be as much eBay stuff because I'll be bringing a bit more back to the shop. So we have one item on eBay, which is an old combine or a seeder. I know what is a combine. And we've started at $1,000. I'll show you the listing shortly. But I have also put some stuff on Facebook Marketplace, and we're having some pretty good sales there. So let's run through what I've been selling, and we'll have a bit of stuff being picked up next week. So let's have a look at what I've been listing online. This is on one of the Facebook groups I'm a member of. It's a Farm Machinery Buy Swap Sell Australia, but I also spam on all the local farming groups around Matawa and District. So I think I put this listing, here's my listing here, on about 15 different groups. It gets great exposure, and importantly for machinery, it gets exposure to people in the district, whereas when I sell on eBay, a lot of people spot the listings, but they might be from other parts of Australia and it's just impractical to pick up the stuff. So I've just edited this listing this morning, and I didn't put a link to the eBay listing for the combine, which is pictured here. We'll have a better look at that in a minute. Because I find that when you put a link to another site on Facebook, it doesn't always get shared that much. So I've just suggested that it's easy to search International A62, which is the model of the seeder, and people can find it then. And if they have trouble, they usually message me and say, can you provide a link? So we'll go through the photos quickly. I'll just put one photo of each item up, and then people message me if they want more information. So this is the seeder, or the combine as we know it as, and it's probably one of the last big pieces of machinery to sell, other than the tractors. We still have to sell the tractors at some stage. So I've put that on eBay at $1,000 start price. I've had a few people suggest to me that it's worth quite a bit more. Someone suggested about $5,000. So we will watch the end of that auction in this video and just see if it does sell and if it gets a bit of sniping action at the end. If it only gets $1,000, so be it. If it doesn't get $1,000 bid, we will then put it on Facebook Marketplace, and there's no fees then, of course. So these are the other things that I've put on, and I actually have sold in the space of about 3 days all these items. They're yet to be picked up, but this one has been sold for $400. It's the old Moldball plough we had a look at in the last part of this series. The wool table, I only put $50 on it. In hindsight, it was probably a little bit cheap because I had messages everywhere. But it isn't an old style timber wool table that are very popular. It's just an old angle iron frame, steel frame. It'd be pretty easy to make your own. And the timber slats are only quite modern pine. So I thought $50, if we get rid of it quick, we're happy, and hopefully there'll be a happy buyer. So that's gone. Well, it's to be picked up. The Sunbeam shearing stand, I originally ran that through eBay, if you saw the previous episodes, and we didn't get any interest. I had a few people message me to say that they're not that sought after these days, even though it is in good condition, and there's new designs out now that most people buy. So I dropped the price to $400, and then I've actually dropped it again right down to $250, and already someone has claimed it this morning. In fact, it's a guy that's bought something else off us previously, so that's good. That will be hopefully picked up next week. The old wheels that Dad took some photos of for me, these are down the machinery graveyard, and there was a whole heap of sheep decided to photobomb the event. It's quite a nice rural picture, actually. Anyway, we put $350 on them, and I do have a local guy who's coming to pick them up next week. So pretty happy with that price. I did consider taking the wheels off and bringing them back to Nagambie. One of the wheels, I think the far end one, would slide off the axle okay, but this one seemed to be well and truly rusted onto the axle, and I didn't want to have to try and cut through it, particularly in the drier months with grinders down there, although as you can see the sheep haven't left much grass around. But it's a lot of work to do that, and I would probably only get $200 to $300 for that one wheel, and maybe $100 for this one because it is missing some spokes. So I'm happy to accept $350 where it is there. Now these trailers, we did run them through eBay earlier on for $100 each, because there's one in a shed as well. No takers. Then I had a guy through Facebook message me, and he was keen to take both, and that went on for quite a while, and he couldn't make it, and then blah blah blah, and ended up he didn't respond to my messages very promptly, and the last message he never responded to at all. So I thought, that's enough time spent on you, and I relisted them again on Facebook, and I actually put 150 each, and they've sold to a local farmer, and he's been out to inspect them, and he's very happy. He's actually already paid Dad, so that one and the other one that's in the shed are now sold, and we're back to the combine. So all these items, and you can see from the description on the side here, I've edited each time something's sold. So the only thing left in this Facebook listing now is to promote the combine sale on eBay, which finishes this Saturday night. And let's go and have a look at that eBay listing. Hopefully I can flick it up here. Here we go. And we've got, it's 4 days, 5 hours to go. $1,000 start price. There hasn't been any bids at the moment, but I think there is about 7 or 8 watches on it. A little bit of a blurb about it. So we will tune in and watch the end of that auction and see if we can get a sale. And now the time is here to watch the conclusion of the combine auction on eBay. We have under a minute to go. There are still no bids. I think there was about 17 watches, and the listing itself had, I think, about 170 views. So there's every chance that there'll be a bidder right at the end. We haven't had anyone wanting to come and inspect or anything like that. One guy did ask for a phone number, which is a bit hard to give through eBay because they don't like handing out contact details. People tend to do private deals, and eBay misses out on the fees. I did provide a method for the guy to ring me, and he messaged back to say he's away and he'll ring me next week, so he's perhaps assuming that it won't sell. 13 seconds to go, still no bids. Let's see if we have any snipers at the end. It'd be nice to get a bid, although obviously we pay fees if it sells through eBay. 4 seconds, 3 seconds. Any snipers? $1,000. Let's wait for the refresh screen. There's clearly not very much action. Oh, the page is taking a long time to refresh. Perhaps it's collating all the rush of bids in the last microsecond. That's interesting. It normally refreshes. Perhaps that just means it hasn't sold. Let's refresh the screen manually. It says ended, no bids. Yeah, okay, well there you go. Did not sell. So I'll guess we'll wait and see if the other guy gets back to me. I will relist it on the Facebook groups at 1,000, regardless of the fact that quite a few people thought it was way too cheap. The fact is it didn't sell, so the market has determined that it's not that cheap. All right, well, that finishes our eBay experience. Not very exciting. Oh, maybe it didn't refresh because I've gone offline. Well, it's trying to refresh. I'll be back with you shortly. Well, it's just refreshed, and look at this. There was a bid right at the end. How about that? So it has sold. We've got a dodgy internet connection today. It's taking a long time to load pages. But there's one bid right at the end. So that's good. I'll find out who it is. Yeah, it still can't. Obviously, I've got internet problems at the moment. We'll find out who it is, and we'll organise, hopefully pick up for next week. Well, guys, after all that, we've managed to market everything online that I'd intended to for this little break before our next trip. I've teed up a few people. I've been in touch with the guy that just won the combine, and he's hoping to get across next week. So hopefully we can get a lot of stuff loaded and moved. And I'm going to get there. I'm heading off Monday. It's now Saturday, so in a couple of days, I'm going to try and get over there early enough on the Monday so that I can take a lot of photos of other stuff around the farm, and we'll touch base with you guys then in that episode, which will be part 11. Hopefully we have a good week. The weather's supposed to be okay, and we'll probably bring back some treasures for the shop. So I'll see you then in that video. In the meantime, there's lots of other videos going on my channel. I'm pumping out a lot lately, so I hope you're enjoying them all. This was part 10 of the Great Farm Cleanup, so hope you're enjoying the show. See you soon. Bye for now.